Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tony Wright. I am speaking on a great company today that I can definitely tell you a couple of these things can help them in their environment, can change up some things in their environment, and make them a better successful company. Flava Beginnings is a clothing brand that is very well structured. Small business company. The owner bootstrapped his business from the ground up. So I'm very respectful and understanding who he is. Give you a small background on the business and then how we can really help this working relationship and environment out. So the company started back in 2018. In that time frame, it started as a radio DJ, was wanting to get himself in a better establishment and get his foot off the ground, but he was always going to red carpet events and was not able to be stand out in the community that he was videoing or recording because he was not that tall. So because of that, what he ended up doing was he would wear very colorful or very festive suit jackets to be able to stand out. Where he always did everything he could to wear these jackets to stand out. It happened to catch the eye of other people when he was actually able to interview them. So when he started doing that, he light bulb went off and he said, maybe I may have something here. He took that small idea and created it into a clothing empire that they have today, where they have hats, they have hoodies, they have dresses for ladies, they have accessories, they used to have sneakers, and they have everything that we can utilize to have someone look great in today's culture, in today's urban fashion, with a Christian flair. The owner wanted to make sure that Christianity today looks so different than where we used to look at when we were growing up as children. Used to be if you did not wear a suit and tie to church, people did not look at you. Nowadays, you can actually wear a t-shirt and some slacks, and you don't know if you came to church or out to eat after service has been over. So now it's in a situation where most people are wearing that out out in public, and they're not ashamed. They're wearing Jesus risen, faith over fear, all these great monogram t-shirts and all these great embroidered t-shirts that will allow them to show that they are very much in love with their Christian self. They're not afraid or ashamed of it, and they want the rest of the world to know it too. And that's what their whole base is based out of. So now, you're wanting to know a little bit more about this culture. This culture for Flavor Beginnings stands for faith, love, adversary, victory, alive. And the reason why I think this culture now is a very much Christian based driven culture, but also creative culture. The culture that I'm gonna recommend is some culture that's driven, a culture that's very creatively based, a culture that is very outstanding with open management, and I very much agree with open management concept because a lot of companies when they're not open management concept, they don't know how much effort or time can go into a project. The people that we say live on the lower side of the spectrum, like the people that's packing the items, right? The designers and stuff are not asking the packers how do they feel about this idea, right? So they're taking that and they're making sure. They're also taking a step ahead in that mindset with the open management, and they're also giving back to the community. They're taking an opportunity to feed the homeless. Now, why is that very important? Um, they want to not only talk about advocating for others, but they want to live out advocating for others. That is something that this company really feels that they should do in this environment. Being creative gives them an opportunity to do this more and more and more. So they're going to come up with creative campaigns and advertising market wise, where they can do more on their advertising through social media. They're advertising with their brand ambassadors. They're advertising that creative mindset will become more of an avenue for them in maintaining that creative outlook and an environment that will make sure that they can get more than they've ever seen before. One of the things that I love about Flavor Beginnings and this opportunity of researching them and seeing them and thinking that this will work in their, because they're a risk taker already, because they're doing something out of the box where God says there is no box. And then on top of that, they're doing something that says, I want my community to be successful. I want to see my community become successful. And I want to make sure my community understands that we are successful. One of the things that I love that Flavor Beginnings has done is that they were also in a fashion show. They were the only faith-based Christian community brand in the fashion show. So I think that that's really a great way of showing that they're very much out of the box. They're very much outside of the norm, and they're very much doing more than they can ever do. The benefits of being in this culture: you're gonna have a better wellness of individuals in this culture. You're gonna have a better opportunity to know how to be more creative, because you're gonna have more creative ideas. You're gonna have more creative pitch ideas. You're gonna have more creative mindset when it comes to creating for things for the advertisers to have. You're going to have more people who are willing to feel they're more free to give those ideas. For example, it's always a situation where a positive environment gives an opportunity to show more to others than you can ever give yourself. But when you have a negative energy or a negative environment, you don't get that on a regular basis. So I definitely want to share with you to be able to give that out, because you want to be able to make sure whoever you're working for, that they have that positive energy at all times. And that benefits how they see stuff in their culture. That benefits how they see things and how they're wearing their clothes and how they're seeing things and how they're seeing greatness that comes out of what they're doing. You know, the biggest quote that I can always think of is, Flavor Beginnings understands that this is a purpose, that they create an assignment for not only fashion, but for Christianity as a whole and human beings of alike. So I hope this helps you understand what they need in their culture. But the most important thing that they're going to show you in their culture is they have faith. They're going to love every customer, every employee, every individual that they come across. They're going to advocate for homeless individuals, that they're going to make sure, so they're going to set precedent with positivity to help those individuals. They're going to show that they can have the victory in every single person that they can work with. And if they do all of those things, they will become alive and making sure that they are a positive entity to the max. And that right there sets up a positive culture for all people. I'm Tony Wright, and this is a great presentation that I hope that you enjoy for Flavor Beginnings, a great clothing experience that I hope that you want to have a clothing experience with them, and the best culture.